If you have plantar fasciitis, you've probably heard that rolling your foot on a ball, like a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball, is the best thing to do and the only way to get rid of your pain. Well, I'm here to tell you that rolling your foot on that ball is not going to help much, and it can actually irritate your plantar fascia. If you're pushing down really hard and really rolling that ball along the bottom of your foot, that can actually cause more irritation and flare up that plantar fasciitis, causing more pain and preventing it from healing. So what can you do instead? So I'm going to show you a couple exercises that will help build strength and mobility in your feet, in your toes, in your ankles, and get rid of that plantar fasciitis for good. Because I know if you have it, then you know it's so hard to get rid of, and sometimes it feels like it's just never gonna go away. Or it goes away and then it comes right back. So we're gonna do some exercises that will help you get rid of it and hopefully never see it again. So we're gonna start out on the floor. So it's really important that your big toe moves. And you might not even realize whether your big toe moves enough or not, because when do you move your big toe? Probably not that often. But you need to see if your big toe can move up and down by itself, and if you can take your finger and pull your big toe up. And if you feel like it's stiff or it doesn't move well, that can actually contribute to more pain in the bottom of your foot and your heel. So that toe needs to move. So we're gonna start with a stretch for that toe. And we're just gonna do both of our feet. So you're gonna kind of kneel like this, curl your toes underneath so the bottom of your toes are on the ground. And from this kneeling position, you're just gonna kind of push yourself back and feel a stretch in your big toes and the rest of your toes as well. So you're just gonna hold that for a couple seconds and come back forward. We don't have to hold it long, but if you feel like you're really stiff, you can actually hold it up to 30 seconds. And then come back forward. For a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can come up into a tall kneeling position like this and sit back on your heels. You'll feel it a little bit more in there. And again, you can hold it for 2 to 3 seconds, or if you feel like you're really stiff, hold it up to 30 seconds. And, do that as many times as you feel like kind of loosens those toes up. It shouldn't be super painful. It can be uncomfortable, especially if you have stiffness there, but it shouldn't be too painful. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is, so you want your toes to move, especially that big toe, but you also want to have some strength in there. So you can sit, you can kneel like this, or you can stand, and you want to try to lift your big toe off the ground without moving your little toes off the ground. Just lift it up as high as you can, and then put it back down. Lift it up, and put it back down. It may feel very weird, and if you can't do it at first, that's okay. Just kind of try, or if you need to hold your little toes down at first and just pull your big toe up towards the ceiling, go ahead and try that. You want to try and see if you can do that 10 or 15 times, really lifting that big toe up as high as you can go. And then try it with the other foot. Even if you're only having pain in one foot, it's good to do it on both feet, because then that can prevent plantar fasciitis in the future and other injuries, just because you want your big toes to move. Okay, so we got our toes moving, we got our toes getting stronger, building strength. And so it's also important that we strengthen the muscles in the bottom of our foot. So what we can do there is these muscles need to be really strong, because if they're not, then that can affect how we walk. That can put more stress on our toes, on our ankles, even our knees and hips. So with our foot on the ground, and you can sit or stand or kneel like this, you're gonna try to make an arch with your foot. So you're just gonna kind of bring your foot, you don't wanna curl your toes, you wanna keep them flat, but pull your toes back towards your heel to make an arch in your foot, and then relax. So pull it back and relax. Again, 10 or 15 times, just pulling that back, trying to make that arch. You're really working those muscles in the bottom of your foot. And then try it on the other side and see if there's a difference, especially if you're having pain in one foot. See if it's easier to do on one side than the other. Okay, so it's also important that we work on strengthening our ankles. So one of the things I like to do, we can grab a ball, the ball that you might use to roll out your foot, and place it between your ankles. So this just kind of keeps our feet and ankles in better alignment as we do this. And it kind of works the inner muscles of our lower leg more. So you're going to keep that ball there and come up into a calf raise and come back down. So lift our heels and come back down. If you need to hold on for this, you can. So we're just doing this calf raise. We're working on calf strength. We're working on lower leg strength, which is important because if that's strong, that can support our feet and reduce pain in our feet. So this one you want to do 2 to 3 sets of 10, so 20 or 30 total. Just really working on that strength there. And then we can make that a little more difficult or more dynamic. I like to do kind of heel to toe walk. So put your heel on the ground first, come onto your toe, lift your heel up like that. And you can just walk around like that. Obviously I don't have much room here, but you can just walk around your house like that, really emphasizing heel to toe and then a lift off like that. And you can do that for a minute or two. You can start with just 20 or 30 seconds and increase that as you need to. And then the other thing that's really important is working on hip stability and balance, because that is the support for the rest of our legs. So you can start that by just standing on one leg, balancing, and then make that harder by moving your arms as you balance or moving your leg as you balance. And just really challenging that balance. And you want to do it barefoot too, so that you're really working those muscles in your foot and in your ankle, and we're really building that strength and stability. So doing all of those exercises is really going to help that plantar fascia much more than rolling out your foot with a ball. So try those, and hopefully that gets rid of that pain in your foot and your heel.